We have finally got our hands on the new second generation Sea-Doo Spark Trixx, part of the first new Spark model series in a decade. In this video, we are going to cover all the key changes between the new and the old model, list all the latest prices in US and Australian dollars, go through all the cool new accessories, tell you what it's like to ride, and share some handy tips for first-time Spark owners or anyone looking to update to the latest model. And as always, we'll do performance testing using our GPS-based V-Box timing equipment to find out how fast and how much fun the new Sea-Doo Spark Trixx really is. Let's get started. First up, a quick history lesson. The first generation Sea-Doo Spark, unveiled in 2012 as a 2013 model year, reset the benchmark for affordability and fun in the jet ski segment and proved to be a massive hit. It delivered a new, cheaper price point, and because it was so small and nimble, it also delivered a huge amount of fun. A few years later, Sea-Doo added the Spark Trixx to the lineup, launching it in late 2016 as a 2017 model year. Unlike the standard Sea-Doo Spark, the Spark Trixx can ride on its tail and point its nose in the air at the press of a button, thanks to Sea-Doo's clever redesign of the jet pump trim system. What we have here is the second generation Sea-Doo Spark, which went on sale in the US in early 2024 and arrived in Australia later the same year. To make this test interesting, we got hold of an original Sea-Doo Spark Trixx to highlight the key differences and similarities between the new and the old model. So this review will be helpful whether you're in the market for a brand new 2024 or 2025 Sea-Doo Spark Trixx or a second-hand one made from 2017 to 2023. While the original Sea-Doo Spark Trixx was available as a 2-seater or a 3-seater, Sea-Doo has sharpened the focus of the new model. The new generation Spark Trixx, introduced in late 2023 as a 2024 model year and beyond, is available as a 1-seater or a 3-seater. That said, there is a 2-seat optional accessory for the 1-seat model. However, given the price, you're better off just buying the 3-seater model from the get-go. As with the original Spark Trixx, the length of the top deck on the new model varies depending on which seat configuration you order. The 1-seater has the standard length top deck, while the 3-seater comes with a rear deck extension to better handle the extra weight of a rider and passengers. For this review, we are testing the super nimble Spark Trixx single-seater. And although the example tested has a 2024 build plate, it is identical to 2025 models and beyond. If Sea-Doo's model changeover history is a guide, the second generation Sea-Doo Spark Trixx will continue in its current guise for close to 10 years, but with colour and trim changes along the way to keep it looking fresh. As we discovered in this test, there's not a lot that will need changing anytime soon, because the new Spark Trixx is still a huge amount of fun, plus it has some cool new features. So, what's new and what's not? The hull and the sponsons on the new generation Spark Trixx carry over unchanged from before and are the same as the original. The 900cc 3-cylinder engine, jet pump, ride plate, intake grate, and the small 30-litre or 7.9 US gallon fuel tank are also the same as before. And the hull is still made from lightweight Polytech plastic. However, everything above the bond line is new, except for the extendable handlebars which carry over from before, but with new reprofiled hand grips. The top deck, also made out of Polytech as it was previously, has been completely redesigned, with smoother and wider shapes, more storage space, and the addition of Sea-Doo's pop-up Linq accessory attachment points on the rear deck. On the original Sea-Doo Spark series, you had to bolt on Linq accessory attachment points which sat proud of the rear deck. The new generation Sea-Doo Spark comes with retractable Linq accessory attachment points, also found on larger Sea-Doo models, and which can be pushed down and out of the way when not in use. On that note, Sea-Doo has created a flatter surface on the rear deck of the new Spark to make it easier to reboard the craft if you've fallen off. The rear deck of the original Spark had oddly shaped ridges which made it difficult to climb back on board. The new setup means you can now easily carry extra fuel using either of Sea-Doo's optional accessory 14.5 litre or 20 litre fuel caddies, that's 3.8 gallons or 5 gallons for our US friends, or many of Sea-Doo's other storage options. We recommend having the optional footwell mats installed to give you better grip than the standard plastic floor. Our favourite features on the new Sea-Doo Spark Trixx are the 5 locations for the optional GoPro action camera mounts. One position up high on the nose of the ski, and 2 along the edge of each side of the top deck to capture all the drama from the splash zone. The completely redesigned portable audio system is another highlight. The original Spark and Spark Trixx had a fully submersible and waterproof 50-watt detachable audio unit that you could unclip and play music on the beach, connected to your phone via Bluetooth, or listen to music while you're riding along. With the new Spark and Spark Trixx, Sea-Doo has redesigned the detachable audio speaker. It still has 50 watts of power and is still submersible and waterproof, but Sea-Doo has created a more ergonomic design and made it more user-friendly. As with the previous detachable soundbar, it floats, so you can listen to music while you're in the water. A cool party trick with the new audio system: if you're with a bunch of friends who have the same Sea-Doo Spark soundbar, you can connect your music source via Bluetooth to multiple soundbars at the same time for surround sound on the beach. As with the original Spark audio unit, the new version can be controlled with your phone or the buttons on the device itself. The new Sea-Doo Spark has more storage than before and a slightly larger digital instrument display. The previous Sea-Doo Spark glovebox couldn't even accommodate a mobile phone or a tube of sunscreen. It could also barely fit a wallet or a bunch of car keys, not that you want to do that as the lid is not very secure, and the compartment itself was not waterproof. The new Spark has a glove box that can fit a mobile phone and a tube of sunscreen, plus other odds and ends. There's also a separate waterproof compartment for your phone or other valuables, though we would still recommend protecting your phone with its own waterproof housing for extra peace of mind. One thing's for sure, on the Spark and Spark Trixx, you are definitely going to get drenched, no matter how relaxed you plan to ride. The digital display on the original Spark was tiny, but the new model has the slightly larger 4.5-inch screen from the Sea-Doo GTI series, which is easier to read and has more information. There's also a new optional wet storage compartment for the front of the ski, which provides an extra 42 litres or 11 US gallons of space, available as a dealer fit accessory. Other Sea-Doo accessories we would consider when buying a Spark: the new rubber fenders that drop into the locators along the edge of the ski. These are super handy to protect the bodywork from being scratched when the ski is tied to a dock. We're also a fan of Sea-Doo's elastic dock ties, which are light and easy to carry and don't tangle like rope does. There's now an optional cup holder, though it's as practical as an ashtray on a motorcycle, so I'd probably give this one a miss. How much does it cost? There are 4 models in the new Sea-Doo Spark lineup, available with either 60 horsepower or 90 horsepower outputs, depending on the model. There are 2 regular Sea-Doo Sparks and 2 Spark Trixx models that can ride on their tail at the press of a button. Here are the prices and colour schemes for the Sea-Doo Spark lineup in Australia. Here are the prices and colour schemes for the Sea-Doo Spark lineup in the US. When it comes to warranty, the Spark and Spark Trixx have 2-year coverage in Australia, although Sea-Doo offers 3-year coverage from time to time during special promotions. In the US, the standard Sea-Doo warranty is 12 months. Here are the technical details for Australian customers. Here are the technical details for US customers. As for maintenance, Sea-Doo recommends a routine service visit every 12 months or 100 hours of operation, whichever comes first. Few riders clock up 100 hours in a year, so we recommend getting the ski serviced every 12 months to make sure it's always in good working order. Consider getting the ski serviced at the end of the riding season to make sure corrosion doesn't set in or the ski is put away for winter. And connect it to a trickle charger when not in use to make sure the battery is fully charged. When it comes to servicing, Sea-Doo has made it easier to access the engine for routine maintenance on the new model. The pocket for the fire extinguisher is still under the seat, but it's now a removable plastic tray with a rubber seal to minimise water ingress into the engine compartment. Carrying a fire extinguisher is a requirement in the US, but it is not a legal requirement in Australia. After your ride, simply remove the fire extinguisher tray for easy access to the engine bay, to give it a light spray with fresh water, and also to give key components a quick squirt of Sea-Doo's XPS anti-corrosion lubricant. On the old Sea-Doo Spark, there was a small service port on the left side of the ski near the rider's knee. But to get proper access to the engine bay on the old model, you needed to unbolt and remove the entire top deck, which is partly why the service costs were so expensive. With the new Sea-Doo Spark, it's easier to get access to the engine bay for basic maintenance between service visits to the dealership. So, what's it like to ride? One thing that hasn't changed with the new Sea-Doo Spark Trixx, this thing is still a heap of fun. While it took us a while to get used to the smaller, single-seat layout, we love how nimble it feels. The Spark is a great way into the sport as it responds well to rider inputs, whether you're leaning into a turn or just going on a gentle cruise. Being so light, the Spark is very easy to manoeuvre at low speeds, but it forces you to concentrate on your balance, especially when reaching away from the craft, such as trying to grab hold of a dock or another boat to steady yourself, or trying to fit the fenders once you're already on the water. As with the original Spark Trixx, the new model has the choice of Eco, Sport and Trixx mode. In Trixx mode, the jet pump moves to its most extended position, so when you shift your weight to the rear step wedges and grab some throttle, the craft will point its nose in the air in an instant. Then you need to balance the throttle and your footing to stay upright. It only takes a few practice runs to master this, that is, after you've fallen off a few times. No matter what your skill level, be prepared to get drenched. There is nowhere to hide from water splash on this craft, and that's part of the fun. The Spark feels faster than it really is because you feel every bump, ripple and wave on this ski. That said, it is very forgiving to ride. The Spark is easy to operate for first-time riders, while experienced riders can push it to the limits with a range of stunts. The Spark is a great way to improve your skills and gain a basic understanding of jet ski riding before you graduate to a larger ski. We are a massive fan of the improved ergonomics, the larger digital instrument display, and the more usable glove box, now with a waterproof compartment. Best of all though are the clip-on accessories such as the GoPro mounts, rubber mats, rubber fenders and the integrated Linq attachment points. Sea-Doo has improved almost everything with this major redesign. The only thing we'd love to change if we had our way is for Sea-Doo to fit a larger fuel tank. With a capacity of 30 litres or 7.9 US gallons, it means you may need to cut your day short unless you carry an optional fuel caddy on the back. The downside of that is, when the fuel caddy is full, the extra weight makes the Spark less nimble. Plus, it's not as easy to reboard the craft from the water when a fuel caddy is attached to the back. These observations aside, this is still a hugely fun ski. So, how fast is it? We ran acceleration and top speed tests on the new Sea-Doo Spark Trixx in flat water conditions rather than ocean chop, so we could extract consistent results. The GPS-based V-Box timer started from 5 km an hour or 3 miles per hour because even the slightest movement on the water triggers the device. The air temperature was a mild 23 degrees Celsius or 74 degrees Fahrenheit. And as always, we took an average of 4 tests, 2 in each direction, to account for changes in wind and water current. The test rider weighed 100 kilograms or 220 pounds, and the ski had more than 5 hours on the clock to ensure it was run in. You may see faster or slower results elsewhere, but this is what we got on the day. We didn't retest the first generation Sea-Doo Spark this time around because we already had the results from a prior test. As we discovered, the performance between the new and the old model are basically identical. Given the weight of the craft, the design of the hull and the 90 horsepower engine are the same as before. Testing the new Spark Trixx single-seater, after an average of 4 runs, 2 in each direction, we clocked the following acceleration times. Here are the results in kilometres an hour. Here are the results in miles per hour. The average top speed was 77.8 kilometres an hour or 48.3 miles per hour, though we did nudge 79 kilometres an hour or 49 miles per hour on one run in favourable conditions. As a guide, this top speed is about 10 kilometres an hour or 6 miles per hour slower than the results we recorded for the previous generation Yamaha Jet Blaster. And the Spark's acceleration is about 1 second slower to 70 kilometres an hour or 43 miles per hour than the previous generation Yamaha Jet Blaster in our testing. The results we got out of the new Spark Trixx were slightly better than our previous test of the first generation model because we tested the old one with the trim up and we tested the new model with the trim in the neutral position to deliver a smoother start. So to sum up, the new Sea-Doo Spark has the same performance and the same thrills as the previous model and is still an absolute blast to ride. The changes to the ergonomics, plus the long list of really cool accessories, will make the new Spark Trixx a no-brainer for jet ski buyers on a budget. It might be cheap and cheerful, but we reckon the new Spark Trixx is a triumph of industrial design and has brought some fresh ideas to the jet ski market with its long list of options. The new generation Sea-Doo Spark might have been 10 years in the making, but it's definitely been worth the wait. We hope you enjoyed our review of the new Sea-Doo Spark Trixx. A reminder, this video is not sponsored content, so we can maintain our independence and honest opinions, but Watercraft Zone would like to extend a huge thanks to the guys at Cronulla Sea-Doo and Can-Am in Sydney South who loaned us one of the first Sea-Doo Spark Trixx models to arrive in Australia. We tested this craft over 2 weekends in October 2024. Please hit like if you've enjoyed this video, and subscribe to this channel to make sure you don't miss any future updates and so we can grow our jet ski community. Also be sure to check out the other videos on our YouTube channel that cover the latest models from Sea-Doo, Yamaha and Kawasaki. Thanks for watching.